Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Now, this is the Survive Knives. I believe it is the EDC4 and K890. It is the sharpest knife, honest to God, I've ever reviewed. But the thing about this is, it's not just sharp throughout the video, right? It held its edge, and towards the end, or the very last paper cut we do, it's insane. It's like we didn't do anything with it. Now, the truth is, when I do these videos, when I go out, I do my review, demonstration, whatever you want to call it. I run it through the battery of tests. I do everything. I don't strop it. I don't touch it. I don't do anything until after the final paper cut. Then I clean it up, strop it, and get it ready to go back. The truth is, this thing was as sharp at the end, damn near as it was at the beginning, which is crazy to me. Here's the thing. I've said a million times about Survive, either you like them or you don't. You can put it in the comments. I don't really give a shit, and I'm not saying that mean. These are all sent to me by JR for review, and I absolutely adore them. I mean, I adore them. Why? Because it's sharp, it's well built, and I don't trifle myself or bother myself with the politics of the knife world, and I'll tell you why. Because if you don't do something to me personally on a personal note, or someone I know personally, I don't know that it's true. I'm not saying it's not, but I've learned from two occasions, listening to the wrong people, and I wound up looking like an asshole. Sorry, I'm not doing it again. If they owe you a knife, put it in the comments. I'm not being mean at all. I'm being honest with you. Just like I wouldn't trash somebody or praise somebody under false pretenses, I'm not trashing them. Okay, that's it. Let's move on to the knife. Now, this is the EDC4. I believe these are G10 handle scales. I could be wrong. I'm wrong for the vast majority of my life. The thing is this, man. I'm going to give you some specs. We're going to do our causes and all that. But here's the thing. This is a great size belt knife if you want to go hunting, camping, kayaking, hiking. It's lightweight. It feels good in hand. It has a good balance point. Now, the Survive knives that I've got thus far all come with really well done Kydex, even with a Kydex loop that fits on your belt. And the truth is, I'm built like the world's tallest dwarf. I got T-Rex arms. So for me, a setup, a rig like this is perfect because it rides high on the hip. It fits perfectly. Now, here's the thing. I have zero experience with K890 steel except right here. And all I can be, guys, is impressed. We run it through this battery of demonstrations. And like I said in the last video, I'm going to add the zip tie test. And I'd like to do some light tip testing. Now, we're doing that kind of here with stabbing. And most of that is steel reinforced tires, okay? They are old, I get it, but you get the point. This knife, I think, stabbed through 2 or 3 pieces, which is pretty good. And I'm not out there to show you how strong I am, right? We do 6 to 8 inch punches. I wanted to add this part because I thought it was important. These aren't really choppers. They're not considered choppers, and you probably wouldn't use them as one. But if you have to, because we all know about the situation where you're going to be riding along in your truck and go off the side of the mountain, and all you're going to have is your underwear and your knife, okay? So it's got to do a little bit of everything. The best test of a knife for me, and I'm just going to be honest, and I'm learning more and more, is doing some kind of tri-stick challenge with it. It shows how easy the knife is to manipulate. We did a little light chopping. We struck a ferro rod. I cut everything under the sun. Now, the thing with Survive that I've noticed is this. They have a spine that you can strike a ferro rod with, but other than that, everything is really rounded off, feels really good in hand. Now, the balance point on this one is about an inch down from the top of the G10. Guys, I don't know, and I hate doing this. It's either G10 or micarta. It could be either one. Sometimes with handle material, it is distinct, and it's like, well, that's what it is. Sometimes it can be in the air. I want to say, you know what? I'm really thinking this is micarta. And I'll tell you why it matters. I hate spreading misinformation. I mean, I despise it. Whether it's about a knife company or a product, I don't like telling you the wrong thing. So I will pin a comment of what it actually is. It's comfortable in hand. It has a nice palm swell. Let me give you some specs on this one. The steel is K890. The handle material is unknown. The blade length is right here. It's about 4 3/8, something like that. Right at 4 3/8. The cutting edge is 4 1/4, 4 1/8. The handle length, and I'm measuring the handle material here, is 4 3/4. The inner grip, which matters to me a lot, is 4 1/4. The handle thickness is right at 5/8. The material thickness, I believe we have an 1/8. I'm going to double check it. I pull everything by hand. And one of the reasons that I do that, okay, this is just a tad bit over, just a hair over 1/8 inch. One of the reasons that I like pulling the measurements myself, every knife is made different. I don't care if it's CNC'd, if it's whatever, it's ground different, it's rounded different, it's done all that. And I like trying to be as accurate as I can. Plus, it lets me look over the knife again, if that makes sense. The blade width is 1 1/8 inches. Now, the handle width, not the thickness, but the handle width at its thinnest is 3/4. At the palm swell is 1 inch. And at the bottom is 7/8. So you have a nice contour to your hand. This knife would fit the vast majority of hands in the United States. I'm moving it around. I'm manipulating it. It has a hidden lanyard hole. And let me just say this. That hidden lanyard hole, for me, is a nice touch for a lot of reasons. I don't typically do a lot of stabbing, but if I need to, it provides a nice butt right there where I can put my thumb and really drive home. It has a slight, a sharpening notch there. The billboarding on it is Survive Knives. It's their logo with the blade steel K890 and American flag on the other side. And again, guys, to redo this series of knives, one thing that I wanted to do with this, and I want you to understand, everything you see, every little demonstration, whether it's cutting extension cord or ratchet strap or tri-stick, whatever it is stuff that we do in daily life, right? So my goal doing these is so that you can see them, translate them over. Works really well. It works really well as far as giving you a good opening look. Makes you look and go, you know what, I'd try it, you know what, I wouldn't. And that's what I'm trying to do. Finally lit one up there. I was so damn excited. We have fat wood all over that oak stump and one lit up. But the thing is this, I try to give you a good enough look where if you wanted to make an informed decision, this would be a good starting point, if that makes sense. As we go and as we flow, instead of doing comparisons, because I don't enjoy doing them. I never have, because you don't hold the knife the same. You don't have the same vibe for each knife. But by doing this, by setting things up this way where we run them concurrently and we run them consecutively through the same thing, you get a good idea. You can watch one video, go back and watch another, and have a great comparison, or at least I think you can. That's the goal, to give you the best look. I do want to say that right there, that was some 100-year-old fat lighter. At some point before it just gets hot as balls, and that's on the way, I'll probably do a little fire out there. And I seen today, I want to shout out Ron T. Sawyer. I love Ron. Brother, I hope everything is turning around for you. He's probably one of the best looking dudes on the internet, not to mention one of the best guys on the internet. If you're not subscribed to Ron T. Sawyer, do so. And the fat wood fire reminded me of Ron. I'm probably going to try to do a couple of fat wood fires coming up here before it gets super hot. And we got so much damn wood out there, because all this is, I mean, you're not going to use this for a fire, right? I mean, we'll use it for tinder and kindling and to start a fire, but good Lord, at this point, son, I've processed enough wood this week. I could probably start a campground out there and provide everybody for a season. That's okay, we'll use it, but my point is, before it just gets stupid hot, we'll build some fires. Overall, you know, Survive does a great job. I know people would like to believe they wouldn't. That's not the case. They do a great job. They're sharp. And again, because I'm fixing to jump into my causes, very last clip, watch how well this thing cuts paper after doing all this. The thing is, I don't like messing with it until after that paper cut. Does it show is it good for edge retention? Well, I think I do enough cutting in one video probably for a full camp out, if you want the truth, if you were honest with yourself. So for it to still be hair popping razor sharp, and I just shaved a big patch off my chest right there for some stupid reason that I will not show, for it to be that hair popping sharp after a review is insane. So yeah, I'd carry it. That being said, guys, this is the most important part of this video. There was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. We know that. We're going into a weekend. So the number's going to be higher. You say, what do you mean, Scab? The real numbers are anywhere from 15 to 29. So it don't matter to me if it's 15, 29, 22. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. I back the blue. I say it all the time. People say back the blue till it happens to you. It's happened to me more than it'll happen to you. My son's a cop. I have my reasons, not shoving it down your throat. Finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. I'm Scab. You're not. Love y'all. I'm gone, son. Have a good weekend.